I may have recreated the entire Legend of Zelda in Minecraft. If you're living under a rock and somehow don't know what The Legend of Zelda is, The Legend of Zelda is a high fantasy action-adventure video game franchise. At least that's what Wikipedia says. Now, I have an entire week off school, which for most people would mean a relaxing time on the beach or in the mountains, but not for me. Since I had this week off, I decided to give myself 7 days to recreate the original NES Zelda. Well, actually only 5 days because I like the weekends. I woke up Monday morning and started a brand new Minecraft world. I also found a high-resolution image of the map that I used as a reference on where to place blocks. As far as I can tell, the map is made up of 4 main blocks, the green, white, and brown bricks, as well as the bushes. I started with the green bricks because that's where the game starts. By 2 in the afternoon, I thought I had made a ton of progress, but when I looked to see all the work I had done pretty much nothing. That's when I decided to do some research to see if others had done this before, and how long it took them. I found a map made by Universe74 that had done just that. However, when I looked at the description, it took them 2 years. How am I supposed to do something that takes people 2 years in less than a week? But that's when I had a brilliant idea. Lightmatica. Wait, don't click off the video. I can see you going for that X. Don't click it. Don't click it. Let me explain. For those of you who don't know what Lightmatica is, it's basically a mod where you can... There's a bit more to it though, because I still have to go in and place all the blocks by hand, but for those of you who are about to go write a comment on how this is cheating and the whole project is just a copy, there's still a lot more to Zelda than the map, and I really didn't have any other choice. So I got a schematic of the map and started building. In under an hour, I already had finished the green brick section. I naively thought that I would be finished building by the end of the day, which of course was very wrong. I decided to stream building this on Twitch, because whenever you have a long monotonous task to do, you might as well stream it. However, I had forgotten to turn off whitelisting on the server, so I got a few surprises. It got so bad that I had to start banning people. Also, Sylvia joined. By the end of the stream, we had finished a small section of Death Mountain, and also made a cat house for Sir Crinkles. This is definitely canon. But there was also a lot more to build, so day 2, I woke up and continued working. Nothing much happened on day 2 other than building, so I'll just skip over it. Day 3 was the final day of building the main world. All that was left was parts of the ground and filling in the rivers. During all this time, I was watching my favorite TV shows and movies, which you can do with the sponsor of today's video, the subscribe button. You can watch all my videos on my channel for free. Only a small percentage of the people actually watching my videos are subscribed, and I'm trying to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and there's less than 3 months left, so it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed. Anyways, after I finished the main map, there were still a few small details. Trees, pillars, bridges, and this small raft, which I made out of a drip leaf because Minecraft doesn't have rafts. Wait a minute.
We're gonna have a raft.
You're kidding, right? Day 3 was also the day that I started on the dungeons, which turned out to be a bigger project than the map. I couldn't use Lightmatica because the original map I was using didn't have the dungeons laid out, so it was up to me to build them by hand. Luckily, the dungeons are all the same shape, but with a different color. Each dungeon is laid out to fit the name of the dungeon. For example, level 1 is the eagle, level 2 is the moon, and level 5 is the lizard. It was also at this point where I learned that the dungeons fit together like a puzzle. I'm guessing this was to save space on the original game, but it makes it easier to build in Minecraft since all the dungeons will be in one spot. I enlisted the help of my friend KlessNight to help build the dungeons, so we set off in getting them all laid out. This is the first dungeon. There's 9 of these. Day 4 was spent building the interiors of all the dungeons. There are 9 different dungeons, and each room of the dungeon has different obstacles, doors, and enemies. Not only that, but some of the levels had ladders that went down to different sections of the map, which doesn't sound like an issue at first, but the dungeons are all laid out flat, so I called it a future me problem and moved on. In the dungeons, there were also some rooms that weren't actually listed on the dungeon map. This includes rooms like the one you get the silver arrow to defeat Ganon, so I ended up just building them underneath the entire thing. There were also some rooms that had water and concrete powder, so I had to build a floor under the rooms to keep them from falling. Day 5 was the last and final day, so everything had to be finished today. I was planning on adding custom mobs or maybe just retexturing some existing ones, but it was clear I didn't have time for that. The first thing I needed to finish up was getting a way to enter the dungeons, because currently there are just a bunch of boxes under the map. I used command blocks to make it so whenever you walk in a doorway, you get teleported into the dungeon, and the only way to exit the dungeon is to find the room with the Triforce. It was also at this point where future me turned into present me, and I had to do the same thing for the staircases in the dungeon. I then needed to block off a bunch of sections with barrier blocks because normally the player shouldn't be able to cross a lot of surfaces. With that done, the game was finally finished, and after a bit more polish, the day was up and my time was out. This video was hugely inspired by a YouTuber called Cody Can't Eat This. where he created The Legend of Zelda in 3D using Unity. I think his description fits what I made best.
This is basically just a glorified walking simulator.
I'll leave a link to Cody's video in the description, which I definitely recommend checking out. Also, if you want to download the map or the texture pack, that will be the first link in the description below. It's 100% free, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Now, I'm gonna go turn on my 1986 Nintendo Entertainment System and play some Zelda. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, and have a great day.